So now that we have tested the Gyraline to see how accurate it is, which is it's good enough, we're gonna go ahead and use it to actually align the GS300. As you can tell, it wasn't aligned properly last time, so I'm gonna need to adjust it, and we're gonna see if Gyraline is gonna help make the whole process a lot easier. Before, I would have to use the toe place and string alignment, and the only way to use that with the setup that I have, I actually have to put the car back down and align it again and to check it. But with Gyraline, I think I can use it without the wheels. So we're gonna go ahead and test that too. Before we get started in the video, we just realized that the first video that we released in this channel was from last March. So it has finally been a whole year since we actually started this channel. And we just want to say thank you to everybody that's been watching our videos. And hopefully there will be more that will join us. As you can see beside me, this has been keeping me busy. So the caster video will probably have to wait a little bit longer. But stay tuned. Please like and subscribe to see what's going on with this engine. And now we can get back to the video. So before you do any alignments for your car, you gotta make sure that your tires are properly in. Looks like this one's low. So we have one tire that needs to get aired up a little bit. Okay, another thing you need to do when you're doing your alignment is to make sure your steering wheel doesn't move while you're changing your toe in the front. So what I usually do is I just get a strap and just strap both sides to make sure it doesn't move around. Inside first. All right. That's not going anywhere. No, just kidding. So you need to know what you're aligning your car for. For instance, I'm doing the alignment on this car to track it. So you want to replicate your conditions. So you would want to make sure all your fluids are topped, even like your fuel, right? Because that's extra weight. Depending on what you normally run at the racetrack, maybe some people run just half a tank or full tank. The car right now is already on full tank, so we don't have to worry about that. Right now, I had my subwoofers, and I mean the inside is already pretty empty, like how it is when I track the car. But when I track it, I won't have my subwoofer, and that's extra weight in the rear. So I'm gonna have to take all this extra weight, since the extra weight will change the alignment of the car. Let's go ahead and take all these out. Said the evil. Yeah. I usually take this out during track days, but it's pretty light, so I don't want to disassemble all the wires.
But ideally, we want to.
So now that we got a lot of weight removed from the rear of the car actually, the rear lifted up because of the weight. And since it lifted up, it changed the alignment right now. But because the tires are on the ground right now, the tires are actually preventing the suspension to go on its settled state. So what you can do is you just gotta roll the car back and forth. And right now, let's say the car raised up, right? And because the car raised up, it probably towed in. But the wheel are actually having a hard time towing in because it is anchored to the ground. So once you start moving it, it'll start settling to where it's actually supposed to go. Now we're ready to align the car to get a baseline on where it's at right now. Since we have moved it around, the alignment could have changed from all the different tests that we've already made. We're just gonna go ahead and just use the body align since we are actually doing all four corners and just not just trying to do the truss align to check the thrust angle. So straight to body align. So first, let's redo the surface profile.
Make sure you your white.
Okay. We're gonna do the camber first against your wheel. Just now that we have the alignment of the car while it's sitting on the ground, we're gonna go ahead and raise it up, all four. Check the alignment again, and then we're gonna take the wheels off and then check the alignment again to see if we can get a similar reading by using the rotors instead of the wheels. So let's go ahead. While the wheel is in the air.
Oh.
Now we're gonna align it with the rotors. So like when I make adjustments, I can just measure the alignment without putting the wheels back on. Well, since I can't really center this part, so I wanted to do this part, but my dual caliper is in the way. And that's the reason why I'm gonna do it on the bottom. But this bolt is in the way. So I might have to just grind this down to where it'll be at the perfect spot for my phone. But for now, I'll just do it without it. So we took a measurement of the rotor to see what the alignment is while it's in the air. So we went ahead and took the difference between the air and the ground. We're going to use that difference on the ideal track spec to find out our ideal track alignment in the air. So now that we have those values, we're going to go ahead and set it up to that. So the ideal measurements, I'm just going to put it on the screen. So first thing we're going to change is the camber, which is up here by changing the upper control arm. My lower control arm is already maxed out, so we don't really need to adjust the lower control arm. When you adjust the camber, your toe actually changes at the same time. So it's better to just adjust the camber first and then you adjust the toe. Because when you adjust the toe, the camber doesn't move as much. But if you move the camber, so let's go ahead and change the camber. With this one, I just need to loosen the upper nut to be able to slide the upper control arm. So this one's a bit tricky. It's pointing all the way up, so I can't even reach the top where the nut is. No, you need a tool for it. The tool can't get in there. So this is actually at full droop already, so it won't even go down anymore, and you won't be able to access the top upper control arm, or the bolt up here. So I'm gonna disconnect this side of the sway bar and the lower bolt for the coilovers, so I can let this sag down a bit more. Go ahead and remove the sway bars.
Nice.
Loosened it. Okay, since we did tighten this under load when it was settled on the ground, this one won't droop also, it just keeps going back up. Gonna go ahead and loosen this. Now I can lower it down. Okay. So how much has the camera changed since we lowered it this much? We should check that right now. Can you hand me my phone? So it's a 0.4. So from our list, it was a 2.6. Technically right now is a 0.4. You just need to zero out the camber and it should be at around -3 degrees. -3. Yeah. Ah. Okay, got it. Okay, so this is the hard part with Gyraline. You always have to +4, so we just need to go that way by 0.4. Let's see how much change that did. Much. Need to do more. Yeah. Just a little bit more. Nice. Okay. It's time to tighten it. Hopefully it doesn't move while we're tightening it.
I think a little bit more, babe. Okay. This process,
with the angle finder.
Does it juggle around like that too?
So we can literally just leave it on there and it's 0. It's kind of nice how you can constantly see the values on the angle finder and it's just, you know, magnetic and just stay there. So as I change this, I can see how much I'm changing. With the Gyraline, I do have to put my phone down, do the change, and then put it back on there. And hopefully the calibration isn't changing, you know, during adjustments. But this is a 0. Go ahead and tighten this down. A while ago while I'm tightening it, it did move up a bit. So I'm just gonna change it a little. Now it's only in 0.15 increment. That's good enough. So that's what I'm worried about when we start checking the alignment. That's gonna have to happen again. 0, -0.1. Alright, that's good. Now, you need to get your jack to tighten it again. We're gonna raise this up to where it would be when you're on regular ride height, because that's where you would want to tighten the bushings. It's a lot better being on the ball part you're close to it, compared to just letting it drop all the way.
And this is just a type back the stuff you listened earlier.
Yeah. To keep an eye out at the values.
I thought like you feed it into the machine like a car wash.
Oh. So we're gonna go ahead and tighten this back up to 39 foot-pounds of torque. Yeah, when we did the suspension.
Yeah.
Or when we pull on. Alright, so that's torqued. Okay, so we're gonna try to line up this sway bar again. We want to lower it down. Now gotta make sure we torque it down to 41 foot-pounds. We'll tighten it first. Torque it down. Okay. Then now put the coilover bolt. Can you see it? Like right here. Put the bolt. Torque it down to.
Oh yeah.
So we're gonna go ahead and torque that to 116 foot-pounds. Okay, that's good. Our target in the air was negative 1.3. So let's go ahead and check that again. Now we are sitting at exactly negative 1.3. Maybe we'll find ourselves. So the outer tie rod, when we changed the toe, is actually at the lower part of the hub. So the more toe we put in, the more negative camber we'll get. So now we're gonna adjust the toe, and to adjust the toe in the front, you find this is the outer tie rod and this is the inner tie rod. So you pretty much move the outer tie rod in or out to adjust your toe, and that will make it go like this. So we'll just have to loosen up both of these locking nuts. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. Fuck. Okay. Alright, so we loosened the lock nuts. We were at negative 1.7 and we want it to be at negative 1.35. So that means we were towed out too much, so we want to tow it in. So to do that, we need to expand this, and we will do that by turning this counterclockwise. This will expand, making it tow in because it's behind the hub. So when you make this greater, this will tow in. This is gonna make it pretty difficult to adjust with Gyraline because we'll adjust it a little bit, and then now we have to do the whole body align mode procedure just to see where we're sitting at now. And then we're gonna adjust a little bit, and then we're gonna do the body align procedure again, and then adjust it again, and it's a lot more work, right? I mean, with the tools that I have right now, I actually don't have something that would be better than Gyraline. But there is a tool that I've been eyeing to get, which it is something that it's kind of like the toe plate, and you can just put it here and it'll hang, and you can have your tape measure right here. So as you adjust, you'll be able to see how much you're adjusting, right? But right now, so we expanded this a little bit. So now let's go ahead and do the body align procedure and see where the toe is now. This is 1.9. Okay, the 1.9 didn't change, so I can just do the sidebars and then I can just measure just the front left. But now it's at 1.9. Maybe. Let me redo it again. 1.9, 0.5. Yeah, it didn't change. So adjust, measure, adjust, measure again, adjust again, measure again. Alright, so we changed the camber again. It was at 1.65, so we changed it to 1.3. Since it changed after we changed the toe, and then now we changed the camber again, and then now we're gonna go change the toe again. Negative 1.4. That's good enough. Instead of negative 1.35. So we can just call that one good. Then now let's check the camber. And we're aiming for 1.3. Yep, we got 1.3. Since we're done changing the toe, we can go ahead and lock the outer tie rod. Alright. Okay. Now we're doing one side. Okay, so for the rear, we also have the upper control arm and then the lower control arm right here. The toe arm, which is similar to the inner and outer tie rod in the front, but this one also has a traction arm right here on the bottom. It is going to be pretty hard too because every time we adjust one arm, it will change the reading again. So we're just going to have to keep adjusting until we get the proper alignment. So right now, as usual, we're going to start with the camber first. Then we're going to move on to changing the toe. Okay. 0.1 is 0. Yeah, -1. Wait, no, this is right here, 0.02. But we want this at 0.7. Oh, no, wait, no, this is toe.
I told you to highlight.
Oh, no, this is camber. Toe's up here. So we want this at 0.7. This is at 0.3 here. 0.25. .25. I trust this one because this
More
one's
than the
this one's an L. Yeah, this one gets scraped off.
Oh.
Oh, it's a gyraline. We can just go here.
Okay.
0.2. So to adjust the upper control arm, we're gonna need to loosen up this lock nut and the back lock nut. So there's the front and the rear, and then we can adjust the middle to either expand or contract. Yeah.
Let me go.
So for the toe arms and the traction arm, I'm actually gonna just keep them maxed out all the way in because I am trying to have a narrow track width, which means that this whole thing is actually getting pushed in, so I can have my track wheels fit in the back here without rubbing against my fender. I am already having issues with that, so that's why I kind of, you guys can tell. So the main way I'm just gonna adjust my toe and camber is just by using the upper and lower control arm. For the lower control arm, we have these two lock nuts also. So I already loosened them, and then we just adjust it by the middle bolt. Same thing as the upper control arm. So, yep, let's go ahead and adjust them to spec. So I already adjusted the upper to get 0.7, right? So let's just go ahead and use the angle finder instead of the Gyraline. Since we have both of them, we can just use them together. This is 0.7 already, so we can go ahead and check the toe. .55. So we need 0.03. So negative 0.05. So right now it is towed out. So we need to tow it in. Since the tow arm's right here, we can expand the lower control arm and it should start towing in. But since we're expanding the lower control arm, it will start having more of a negative camber. So we're gonna have to adjust the upper control arm also to maintain that 0.7 degree camber. So even if we give this a positive camber from the upper control arm, it will still start towing in because this is behind. Because once it starts pushing this out, since the toe is staying the same, it's gonna tow in. Right. Let's go ahead and adjust the top two counterclockwise to expand. So 0.75. Alright, 0.65. Alright, let's see where the toe has changed to. 0.05. Hey, that's what we wanted.
Nice.
Done.
You want to check it one?
First try.
.10.
0.1. That's fine too. So 0.05 should be good enough. And then let's do the camber. Double check if we're still within spec. 0.4. So we need a 0.7. So we need to put more camber again. This one's a 0.6. 0.65.
I think you should remove the wood.
0.6. So we're good. Check our camber. We are at -1 that we wanted. And we already got our toe using Gyraline. And now we just need to tighten everything up. Alright, so we finished adjusting all the wheels based on our calculation. So we're gonna go ahead and put it down, drive it around, let it settle, and then we're gonna go ahead and check the alignment again with Gyraline and see how close we got to our ideal track alignment. First check, 3 degrees. That's what we wanted. Yep, 3 degrees. 3.1 degrees. We're aiming for 2.5 on this one. We are at 2.4 and 2.5 again. So we got 2.3 instead of 2.5. That's fine. It's close enough. Then let's try the body align. See where our alignment's at. Looks like our toe's kind of off. That's what we got. For the toe, we wanted 0, 0, right, left, rear. We wanted 0.18 and then 0.18 here also, which we didn't get. Well, we'll go ahead and drive the car around and see if it settles more. Can I do donuts?
No.
Let's do that. As you can see from the table, they aren't exactly the perfect numbers that we were looking for, but they have gotten us closer. The calculations we did using the difference between the ground and the air alignment was not exact, and that is why you see people creating a platform to keep load on their car while being able to adjust it. Now I just need to adjust it some more with Gyraline, then finalize it with the string alignment to be as precise as possible. So like I said before, the caster video is gonna have to wait for a little bit. But yeah, make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss out whenever that is gonna come out. And we'll see you next time.